My journaling journey started on the 13th of September 2022 when I thought that it would be interesting to start writing about the kind of stuff that happened in my day so that when I was older, I'd be able to look back with a nostalgic feeling, look back with happiness on the sort of stuff that I did with my friends and family when I was younger. That was my intentions when I first started a journal. However, it was more of a diary, and this is kind of how it is for most people. Most people, when they're starting to get onto self-improvement, they hear about meditation and journaling and all these good habits. However, the self-improvement gurus, they know this stuff through and through. They know what journaling is, and they just think that saying the word journaling is enough to get you to do it, and they already think that you may know what it is. However, most people like me thought that journaling was exactly the same thing as a diary, and that you just wrote about the stuff that happened in your day. Maybe you'd put the odd thing you're grateful for here and there. Maybe you'd write more personally and a deep reflection every once in a while, but most of the time it was just the day-to-day stuff that happened in your day, right? And we want to transform that into a more personal and a more deep reflection of the things that happen in your life, right? Instead of writing about when I woke up, I had breakfast, it was healthier this morning, it was eggs and toast instead of sugary cereal. Instead of saying that kind of stuff, you want to have a more deep and personal reflection of what you actually did, right? And by the end of this video, I want you to be able to wake up tomorrow and actually be able to write a good journal that benefits you instead of just wasting your time because you wrote down what was in your memory, basically. Because there are many different types of journaling, right? For instance, you can have book journaling, which is a very useful thing that I do, where you read a book for maybe 20 to 30 minutes and you'll just write a few points on the kind of stuff that you read in that book, because you often forget the main points and the main principles of the book that you're reading, right? And you can just say it on a piece of paper in a little book. In this book, it's said to do this, and I'm going to implement this by doing this, right? For instance, I've done this with the kind of most common sales book with how to win friends and influence people. I've tried to use it on my friends, and in some cases it's worked. And that's how you can implement the skills that you learn from books in your life, is by book journaling and not just reading the book and forgetting what you read minutes later. There's also dream journaling, which was one of the other reasons that I started journaling back in 13th of September 2022. It was to write about my dreams and what happened in my dreams so that I could look on my dreams from years to come. And this is kind of what I want to do. I wanted to take note of my dreams so that in the future I could look back on them with the same nostalgic feeling that when I look back on the kind of fun that I had with my friends and family. And I still recommend dream journaling, right? It's quite a useful thing to sort of decrypt your dreams, find out what your dreams actually mean, and if maybe it's trying to tell you something in that sort of conspiracy kind of way. But it's a good thing to do, and whenever you have a dream, it might be a rare thing for you, or you might not have dreams at all. Recording what happens in your dreams is not a bad thing immediately after you wake up, right? And then you can have gratitude journaling. Gratitude journaling is the most common form of journaling, which is the most spoken about in self-improvement. Gratitude journaling is where you write down a couple things that you are grateful for in the day. For instance, this morning when I did my journaling, I include gratitude journaling in my actual journaling, and I wrote down how I was grateful for my monitor, which is what I use to do my video editing, which may not be the best video editing in the world, but it's what I can do, and hopefully it works. Hopefully you like it. Comment down below if you don't like it, and I will try to improve and do what I can to grow this channel and spread my message, right? I am so grateful for my monitor because even though the editing program may be slow and it may crash sometimes, if I didn't have the monitor, I would not be able to do the video editing whatsoever. So that is kind of why I am grateful for that, and you should be grateful for similar things that have helped you in your life which you may have taken for granted previously. You should be grateful for the kind of things that you often take for granted, such as your clothes, your room, your parents, your siblings, your friends. You need to be grateful for all these people in your life because... And now we're on to the main kind of part of this video, how to general journal. How do you wake up in the mornings? Because I recommend doing your journaling in the mornings after you do your ab exercises, after you do your stretches in the morning to get yourself prepared for the day, I go straight on to doing my journaling. And you can choose to do it whenever you like, but personally, I do it immediately after I wake up in the mornings. Maybe it's at 6 or 7. And in this journal, I do a very small kind of section on what happened in my day, but then immediately I go on to a more reflective, deep and personal analysis of the events that happened yesterday and the kind of stuff that was on my mind from maybe previous days, weeks and months that is still kind of controlling my mind. I want to analyze my thoughts and my feelings. For instance, this morning I talked a lot about my video editing program. I said that I was grateful for it, but I was also saying that I can't wait to be able to get someone else to do this kind of stuff for me in the future who is actually better at video editing than me. And this was an analysis of like one thought that I had during my day. And I don't need to write about what I had for breakfast, what I had for lunch, how my physics exam went, that kind of stuff. I mean, if you still want to do a little section about what happened during your day, that is perfectly fine. But I still recommend doing a more intimate, deep and personal, reflective kind of section as the main bulk of your journal to analyze your thoughts and feelings from events that happened in previous days, weeks and months. And then you get onto the present moment, where this is when I do my gratitude journaling. As I said, I am grateful for my monitor, my eggs, this cabin that is what I record in, because then I don't annoy my parents and siblings when I'm recording these videos, right? I'm grateful for all this sort of stuff. And then after that, I move on to what I want to do in the day, my kind of to-do list. And my to-do list today was probably to record a couple videos, maybe edit a couple as well. And then you can talk about your really long-term future goals to really get your ambitions inside of your head, right? For instance, I could say long-term goals still, bench 100 kg, have 100 subscribers by August, have 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that kind of stuff, right? These kind of long-term goals which I set for myself. And then you kind of go on to your long-term goals. For instance, I have goals to bench 100 kg at the end of the year, to make £2,000 a month by December, to have 100 subscribers by August. They're the long-term goals that I always keep in every single page of my journal to reiterate my ambitions to myself every single day and to align all the stuff I do during that day to achieve my goals, my purposes and ambitions. And yeah, that's it. I hope you found value out of this video. I hope you can also implement the process of having a more deep and intimate reflective process during your journaling, instead of just kind of reciting the events that happened that day. And then you can go on to being grateful for things. Then you can go on to saying what you want to do for that day, and then you can reiterate your long-term goals for yourself so that you can strive to achieve bigger and better things. If you need any more help on journaling or any kind of topic on self-improvement, my coaching calls are in the link in the description. And yeah, I recommend subscribing because I love this community of young tribal men, and I recommend joining it because I hope to provide loads more good value videos in the future. So yeah, subscribe and thank you.